Welcome to Huts of New Zealand. In this series I will travel to backcountry huts all around New Zealand to record, review and rate my experiences to give you a better idea of what to expect when you go hiking around our beautiful country. Today I'm staying at Puketi Forest Hut, an 18-bunk serviced hut on the edge of Puketi Forest in Northland, New Zealand. This hut is less of a classic backcountry hut and more of a roadside lodge nestled within the Puketi Recreation Area campsite, and it is fully accessible by car and campervan. To get there, turn off State Highway 10 at Waipapa onto Pungaeri Road and continue for 10 minutes. After the road turns to gravel, turn left onto Waiari Road, and after a couple more minutes, turn right at the dock sign for the Puketi Kauri Forest. The hut is situated up on the left just past the camping area, and there's plenty of room for parking around the side. I couldn't find much information on the hut's history, but old aerial imagery shows that it was built in the early 1970s, and today it is part of the Puketi Forest Recreation Area run by the Department of Conservation. Resembling an old schoolhouse from the outside, the large spacious hut slept 18 people on 3-tier bunk beds until it was renovated and painted in 2014. There also used to be a row of cabins with a shower and a long drop to the left of the hut, but these were removed in 2015 and replaced by a modern ablutions block. Today, Puketi Forest Hut is a popular place to stay for travellers, trampers and larger groups, with 18 bunks spread over 4 shared platforms, a large table with chairs, and many other features that would be considered a luxury at a regular dock hut. The hut has electricity, with lighting, power points and appliances including a toaster, jug, microwave, fridge and vacuum cleaner. Of course, there's also the usual fireplace with firewood provided, a large bench top with sinks, a gas stove, a fire extinguisher, smoke alarm, coat hooks and a few extra plates, pots and pans. The hut's interior is also very open and spacious, with a high ceiling and lots of windows for ventilation and to let natural light in. There are 2 doors at opposite corners to get in and out, and the main entrance is locked with a pin pad, which you'll get the code for after booking. Outside there's 2 small decks, a picnic table, drying lines, a bench top with a sink, and an accessible ablutions block with 2 unisex long drop toilets and a very cold shower. Toilet paper is provided, but you should bring your own just in case. The water supply comes from 2 large roof-filled water tanks, and it's advised you boil it before use. Thankfully, the electric jug inside makes boiling water a breeze, and it also makes it much easier to prepare dehydrated meals, like this Indian-style curry from Radix. I stayed at Puketi Forest Hut during my summer holiday road trip after exploring some of Northland's other dock huts, so it was great to be able to recharge all my batteries and relax in the warmth of the afternoon sun. I also had the hut to myself, so after enjoying the sunset, I set up my sleeping bag, brushed my teeth, and went to bed for the night. For security reasons, make sure the doors are locked and the windows aren't wide open, and remember to bring earplugs, just in case there's other people snoring. After a long and re-energizing sleep, I awoke to the sounds of native birdsong outside. I had some breakfast, signed into the hut logbook, and began packing up my things. Make sure you sweep the floors, wipe the benches, and take all your rubbish with you, leaving the hut clean and tidy for the next visitors to enjoy. And before you leave, also make sure all the windows are shut, doors are locked, and that you've got all of your personal belongings with you. Puketi Forest Hut is a great base camp for people wanting to explore the eastern tracks of the Puketi Omahuta Forest. Just before the hut, there's a car park and a small shelter with information signs about the forest and all the tracks available to walk from there. With some shorter and longer trails available to walk, there's options for all ages and abilities. The Puketi Nature Trail is an awesome easy loop track leading through a beautiful Kauri grove within the native forest. It's 1.6 kilometers long with 70 meters of climb and takes about an hour to walk at a very leisurely pace. This track is very well graded, with hard-packed gravel giving way to elevated boardwalks to help protect the roots of the incredible trees, many of which have their species names on signs, making it easy to learn how to identify them. At the heart of the trail, there's a great lookout over one of the largest Kauri trees in the forest, and it is truly a spectacular sight to see. When entering the forest trails, make sure you thoroughly clean your shoes to prevent the spread of Kauri dieback. The Puketi campsite surrounding the hut is a great option for people who want something cheaper or would prefer to camp. With 20 non-powered tent sites, you'll have access to the water supply and the ablutions block, but you won't be able to use the hut. Campsite bookings are required all year round, so check out the dock website for more information. Puketi Forest Hut is certainly very unique and very different to any other dock hut. With its electricity and appliances, large spacious interior, and car parks right outside, it kind of feels like a cheaper and more communal Airbnb. Located close to Kiri and other Northland tourist hotspots, it's a really great place to stay, especially if you're travelling on a budget. It's also frequently used by Te Araroa trail walkers, and it's got cell phone reception. While it's great that the ablutions block is accessible and has a shower, it's a shame the hut itself isn't accessible, and I think a wheelchair ramp should be added. The toilets also smelled pretty bad since they are well used by hut goers and campers, and occasionally the stench would waft into the hut. But overall, Puketi Forest Hut is definitely worth an overnight visit, and I would rate it 4 stars. Not limited to just trampers, it's a great place to stay with lots of facilities for all kinds of travellers. The hut must be booked online in advance, and you'll receive the code for the pin pad after booking. On the day of arrival, you can check into the hut between 12 PM and 4 PM, and you can check out the next day between 8 AM and noon. Check out the dock website in the description below for more information. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you'd like to see more of the huts of New Zealand. That's a big ass tree.